what's up, you guys? So today I wanted to go through my January TBR with you guys, and so this month I plan on participating in the ScoobyDoo Readathon, which is a pretty chill readathon, which has, I believe, like 3 prompts. So it's only 3 books, which isn't bad, and it's over 2 weeks, so I should easily be able to do that. Hopefully, we'll see. It all depends on how crazy school gets in the first 2 weeks. And before I even planned on participating in this readathon, I kind of already had this TBR picked out, so I'm just kind of fitting it into my already picked out TBR. Okay, so for the ScoobyDoo-athon, I plan on participating on Fred's team, and this runs from the 10th through the 23rd, I think. So for Fred, the prompts are For Traps and Daphne, a book that has a lot of twists and turns. And so for this, I was going to go with Daisy Jones and the Six, because The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by this same author, Taylor Jenkins Reid, it was full of so many different twists that I did not see coming. So Daisy Jones and the Six is about a rock group that forms in the late 1960s, I believe. And that's really all I know about this book. And I know that The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was fantastic, and it was kind of similar in the fact that it was about a superstar and her rise to fame. And so I really want to read this book and see if it brings me any of those same feels that The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo does. I do know that so far, based off of just like flipping through it, I think that I am really going to like it. So I do look forward to picking this up later this month during this readathon. I'm probably going to do this first thing in the readathon. So the next prompt is leader of the group. So this is a main character who is royalty or a brave hero. And so this month I plan on reading the A Curse So Dark and Lonely series. So A Vow So Bold and Deadly, which is the last book in the series, comes out on January 26th, I believe. So I plan on reading this series so that I can read that last book during this month and just enjoy the whole thing. So this story is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and the beast in this story, he is cursed so that every year or so he has to pull a girl from the mortal world into his realm to make her love him. And so I'm really curious to pick this up and fall in love with the story. I don't know anything about the second or third book yet because I don't want to, because I want to read this book first. So that is another 3 more books on this TBR. So the third prompt is Let's Split Up the Gang. So this is a book with multiple POVs. And so for this, I plan on reading A Sky Beyond the Storm, which is the last book in the An Ember and the Ashes series. I have book talks up for every other book in the series, but I did really enjoy this series overall. This series is a fantasy series about a girl who goes and spies on a military academy for a resistance movement against the Empire. And at this military academy is a boy who does not particularly want to be there, and so they wind up kind of teaming up a little bit. And so it is a pretty fun story. I do definitely recommend it. The first 2 books I do think start off a little bit slower, so I do recommend giving them maybe a good 50 to 100 pages to get into them. But once you're into them, you're really hooked because these characters are just fantastic. So I definitely look forward to picking this up and finishing this series this month. And so those are the books that I plan on reading for the ScoobyDoo-athon. But in addition to that, I would like to read Lady Midnight. So this is the first book in the Dark Artifices series by Cassandra Clare. So this book is about Emma Carstairs after the Dark War that happened in the first Mortal Instruments series. And so she is dealing with the loss of her parents, and she is trying to discover what happened to them when they died and how they died. And so this is in the Shadowhunter world where there are Shadowhunters and there are angels and there are demons, and the Shadowhunters use their angelic powers to fight off the demons. So I'm very excited to pick this book back up and to finish off this series. I read the first 2 books in the series, and I remember being very surprised by many of the plot twists, and I remember kind of what the plot twists are, but I don't remember exactly everything that happens and all of the great character moments that we get. And that is something that I think Cassandra Clare does really well, is she gives us some really strong character moments. And so I really want to reread this series just to get those character moments again. So I am rereading this on audiobook, and so hopefully I should be able to get through that within this month, but it is a very long audiobook because it is a very long book. So hopefully I should do that, and then next month I can read the next book, and then hopefully in March I can read all of Cassandra Clare's books that I haven't read yet, which are Queen of Air Darkness, Chain of Gold, and then the one that comes out in March, which I believe is Chain of Iron. And so the last book on my January TBR is A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor by Hank Green. I've kind of already started it and I'm 100 pages in. So this is the second book in the An Absolutely Remarkable Thing duology, and I really enjoyed the first book. I have a reading vlog where I read that book, so I will link that somewhere. This series is about a girl who goes viral by posting a video of the Carls. So the Carls are the statues that pop up all over street corners everywhere, and she posts a viral video, and she winds up kind of championing this movement of the Carls are here for humanity, and it's just such an interesting story, and it takes such an interesting look at fame, and so I really wanted to pick this book up and see where the story goes, and so far I'm not disappointed with the first few hundred pages, and I hope to finish the rest of this book this month. This book is honestly a little bit more focused on everyone else in April's life so far, so I do really like that, and I really like seeing the different perspectives, and I really love the multiple perspectives and how it's really shaping the story so that it feels so much bigger than it did in the first book, even though in the first book we were literally talking about like tens of billions of people watching her videos. Sorry, not tens of billions, just like 6 billion. Most of the population of the earth, but not quite all. Not tens of billions, which is more than the population of the earth. It's fine. So anyways, hopefully should finish this month too. So in total for January, that puts me at 8 books. Oh, I forgot to mention another book that's on my TBR, which is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I did just order this, so it should hopefully come in a couple of days. But this book is about some Greek gods or goddesses that get sent down to Earth as punishment every few years to be hunted. I believe that's really all I know about it. I don't want to go in knowing much more than that because I really love Alexandra Bracken's writing, and so I think I'm really going to enjoy this book, especially because it is a standalone fantasy, and I haven't read very many standalone fantasies before, and the ones that I have read I have really liked, such as The Cultist Girl in Cult Town. I know that I mentioned that one a lot, but I did really enjoy it, and so I really am looking forward to picking up this book and reading it this month at some point. I don't really know when that's going to be, but hopefully it should be soon-ish. We shall see. So anyways, I'm gonna keep you guys updated with how I do with all these books. So for An Absolutely Remarkable Thing and A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor, I do plan on doing a book talk for both of the books in this series. I'm gonna do it as like one video discussing both of the books. I also plan on doing book talks for the A Curse So Dark and Lonely series, so I'll be looking for those. And if there is any video that you think would be interesting for me to do, given what my TBR is, let me know in the comments down below. I will see you in my next video. Please like, comment, subscribe, all of those things. I post videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Bye!